Fluent, period. Have you ever felt like you're speaking a textbook while everyone else is speaking a secret code? You learn all the rules, memorize all the vocabulary, but then you step into a real conversation and suddenly you're adrift. Phrases fly by, sounds you recognize, words you know individually, but stitched together, they form a tapestry of meaning that just escapes you. It's like having a map, but no compass. What if I told you there's a hidden layer to everyday English, a collection of powerful, unassuming phrases that can transform you from a hesitant speaker into someone who navigates conversations with effortless grace? Today, we're going to unveil these linguistic keys, each one a step closer to mastering the true rhythm of native English. Prepare to unlock the secrets that bridge the gap between knowing English and truly living it. Let's plunge into the first essential expression, a phrase so common you might not even notice its subtle power. 1. How's it going? Picture this. You're walking into a meeting, grabbing a coffee, or just passing a friend on the street. They look up, meet your eyes, and with a casual nod, they utter, "How's it going?" And for a split second, your mind races. Is it a question about your health, your job, your deepest feelings? Or is it something else entirely? Many learners stumble here, trying to craft a detailed response when, in reality, this phrase is often less about a literal inquiry and more about a simple, friendly acknowledgement. It's the linguistic equivalent of a casual wave, a brief moment of connection without demanding a lengthy explanation of your day. This isn't your formal "how are you" that might prompt a slightly more detailed, polite response. "How's it going?" exists in the realm of comfortable familiarity. You'd use it with colleagues you see every day, with friends you've known for years, or even with the barista who knows your coffee order. It's a low-stakes greeting, a verbal handshake that says, "Hey, I see you, and I acknowledge your existence" in a friendly manner. Mastering the nuances of this simple phrase is a cornerstone of sounding natural. It signals that you're comfortable, that you understand the unspoken rules of casual social interaction. So, how do you respond without sounding like you're reading from a formal etiquette guide? Simplicity is your ally. A quick, positive, and often reciprocal answer is usually all that's needed. Think of it as a conversational ping pong. "Hey, how's it going?" "Good, thanks." "You?" "Not bad. Just getting started." Or perhaps, "How's it going, Liam?" "Pretty good, all things considered." "And you?" "Can't complain. Just taking it easy." Notice how the response can be minimal, even just a "good" or "all right," especially if you're both on the move. The key is to respond promptly, mirror the casual tone, and often toss the question back. This keeps the interaction light and flowing, exactly as intended. Overthinking it, or launching into a comprehensive report of your daily struggles, can often feel out of place for this particular greeting. So next time you hear, "How's it going?" remember, it's your cue to show you're part of the club, effortlessly and genuinely. 2. I'm just chilling. Imagine a Sunday afternoon. The sun is out, but you're inside, wrapped in a blanket, perhaps with a book or watching something captivating. Your phone buzzes. A friend asks, "What are you up to?" Do you meticulously list every single non-strenuous activity you're engaged in? Or do you reach for the perfect, concise phrase that captures the essence of relaxed contentment? That phrase, my friend, is "I'm just chilling." This isn't just about being physically still. It's about a state of mind, a conscious decision to slow down, unwind, and not engage in anything demanding or stressful. Chilling implies a deliberate act of relaxation, a break from the hustle and bustle of daily life. It means you're taking it easy, perhaps indulging in a low-energy activity like listening to music, browsing the internet, or simply enjoying some quiet reflection. It's the antithesis of being on the go or running around like crazy. When you say, "I'm just chilling," you're communicating a profound sense of ease and freedom from obligation. It's a powerful tool for explaining your current relaxed state without oversharing. It says, "I am at peace and I am choosing to be." Consider these scenarios. Friend, "Hey, what are your plans for Saturday night?" You, "Honestly, I'm just chilling at home. Been a long week, you know." Or if someone sees you lounging on a park bench. Passerby, "Everything okay?" You look deep in thought. You? Yeah, I'm just chilling, enjoying the fresh air. This phrase allows you to gracefully decline invitations that require more energy than you currently possess, or simply to explain your preference for a calm, restful moment. It's an invaluable expression for maintaining your boundaries and communicating your need for downtime in a way that is universally understood and accepted. When you embrace, "I'm just chilling," you're not just speaking English, you're speaking the language of self-care and modern relaxation. It's a simple phrase, yet it carries the weight of a quiet rebellion against constant busyness. 3. Grab a bite. The clock ticks past noon, and your stomach starts to stage a quiet protest. You're feeling that familiar rumble, but you don't have time for a grand culinary adventure. You need something quick, something to silence the hunger pangs without committing to a full-blown meal. How do you articulate this urgent, yet informal, need for sustenance? You grab a bite. This isn't about sitting down for a 3-course dinner. It's about efficiency, about satisfying immediate hunger with minimal fuss. It conjures images of quick sandwiches, a shared appetizer, or a fast food stop. Grab a bite speaks to the practical realities of modern life. We're often busy, our schedules packed, and sometimes a meal is a necessary interlude rather than a leisurely event. When you suggest grabbing a bite, you're proposing a casual, often spontaneous, and usually speedy eating experience. It's perfect for those moments when you and a colleague have a short window between meetings or when you're out running errands and feel your energy beginning to wane. It implies that the food itself is secondary to the act of quickly alleviating hunger. Imagine these exchanges. Colleague, this project is intense. My stomach's rumbling. You, mine too. Want to grab a bite at the cafe downstairs? Or maybe you're out shopping with a friend. Friend, I'm starting to fade. I need fuel. You, me too. Let's grab a bite before we hit the next store. This phrase is incredibly versatile. It can be a suggestion, a statement of intent, or even a polite way to excuse yourself from an activity to fulfill a basic need. It's direct, unpretentious, and perfectly conveys the idea of a quick, informal meal. By using grab a bite, you demonstrate an understanding of everyday English practicality, signaling that you're tuned into the rhythm of real-world interactions where time and convenience often dictate dining choices. It's an understated phrase, but its utility in daily communication is undeniable. For call a day. You've been working for hours, your brain is a little foggy, and your eyelids feel heavy. You've pushed yourself, perhaps even beyond your limit, and now a clear sense of completion washes over you. It's time to cease, to pack up, to declare victory over the demands of the moment. How do you express this feeling of reaching your endpoint, of concluding your efforts for the time being? You call a day. This isn't just about the clock striking 5. It's about a conscious decision to stop, to put a definitive end to your current activity, whatever it may be. Call it a day carries a distinct feeling of finality for that particular period. It implies that you've done enough, that you're ready to transition from being productive or engaged to being done. While most commonly associated with work, its application extends far beyond the office. You could call it a day on a strenuous workout, on a marathon cleaning session, or even on an intense study period. It signifies that you're satisfied with your progress, or perhaps just too exhausted to continue effectively. It's a declaration of closure, a mental and physical punctuation mark on your efforts. Consider these impactful uses. Colleague, we've been troubleshooting this bug for 7 hours. Any luck? You, nope. I think we should call a day and pick it up fresh tomorrow. Or after a long afternoon in the garden. Spouse, the weeds are still winning, aren't they? You, for now, yes. My back is aching. I'm calling it a day. This phrase is not just practical, it's empowering. It gives you permission to stop, to rest, and to acknowledge your limitations without feeling guilty. By saying, I'm going to call it a day, you're asserting control over your time and energy, communicating a clear boundary. It's a marker of self-awareness and efficiency, signaling that you know when to push forward and when to strategically retreat. Mastering call it a day means mastering the art of the sensible conclusion. If these insights are already starting to illuminate your path to fluency, imagine what else we can uncover together. Don't miss out on unlocking more of English's true power. Hit that subscribe button and join the growing legion of learners who are truly becoming fluent, period. By joining our community, you're not just getting tips, you're gaining access to a deeper understanding of English that most people overlook. Now, back to our linguistic journey. 5. Take a break. You've been intensely focused, staring at a screen, poring over documents, perhaps even deeply engrossed in a hobby. The concentration is admirable, but you feel the edges of your focus beginning to fray, your shoulders tightening, a subtle fatigue creeping in. Your performance is about to dip, or perhaps you just need a moment to recalibrate. What's the natural, intuitive phrase to articulate this crucial need for a pause, a brief respite? You take a break. This isn't about quitting. It's about strategically stepping away for a short period to recharge, allowing you to return with renewed vigor and clarity. Take a break is an acknowledgement of human limits and the importance of rest for sustained effort. It's a proactive step to prevent burnout and maintain productivity. Whether it's a 5-minute stretch, a quick walk to grab water, or simply shutting your eyes for a moment, the essence of taking a break is to disengage from your current task to give your mind and body a chance to recover. It's a vital component of any sustained activity, from intense study sessions to demanding professional work. It implies a temporary halt, with the expectation of returning to the task. Consider these common situations. Study partner: my brain feels like mush. I can't absorb another word. You: I know the feeling. Let's take a 15-minute break and grab some fresh air. Or in a long meeting: team leader: all right, everyone, we've covered a lot. Let's take a quick break before we dive into the next agenda item. This phrase is about self-awareness and advocating for your well-being, or recognizing the same need in others. It's a simple, universally understood signal that it's time for a pause. Using "take a break" not only communicates your need, but also shows that you understand the rhythms of productivity and rest. It's a healthy habit enshrined in common English, offering a polite and clear way to hit the pause button on life's demands. 6. Run errands. The weekend approaches, or perhaps a free afternoon opens up, and suddenly a list of small, necessary tasks begins to form in your mind. The dry cleaning needs to be picked up, the groceries are running low, you need to drop off a package at the post office, and maybe swing by the bank. These aren't monumental tasks, but they're essential parts of maintaining daily life. How do you summarize this collection of disparate, minor obligations into one cohesive, understandable phrase? You run errands. This phrase captures the essence of tackling a series of small, domestic, or personal tasks, usually involving short trips outside the home. Running errands implies a dynamic, multi-stop journey focused on crossing items off a to-do list. It's about efficiency and management of your personal responsibilities. It suggests that you'll be out and about, moving from one location to another to accomplish these minor but important duties. When someone says they're running errands, you immediately understand that they have a structured plan of minor tasks to complete, and they'll likely be busy for a period, even if it's not work in the traditional sense. Let's look at how this plays out in conversation. Friend: what are you doing this Saturday morning? You: oh, just running errands. Got to hit the grocery store and then the pharmacy. Or perhaps explaining why you're a bit delayed. Colleague: you're in a bit late today. Everything all right? You: yeah, just had to run a few errands before coming in. Unexpected stuff. This phrase is incredibly practical. It allows you to convey a clear, concise picture of your immediate plans without having to list every single item on your chore list. It's a hallmark of adulting, a common activity that connects us all. By integrating run errands into your vocabulary, you demonstrate an understanding of everyday life management in English, sounding both responsible and relatable. It's a simple phrase for a complex web of small tasks, making your communication clearer and more natural. 7. Keep in touch. You met someone new, perhaps at a conference, a social gathering, or through mutual friends. You've had a great conversation, discovered shared interests, and feel a genuine connection. Or maybe a friend is moving away, or a colleague is leaving for a new job. In these moments of parting, when you genuinely wish to maintain a connection, what's the authentic English phrase you use to express that desire? You say, "Let's keep in touch." This phrase isn't just a polite formality. It's a genuine expression of intent to stay connected, to not let the thread of acquaintance or friendship simply dissipate. Keep in touch signifies a mutual desire for ongoing communication, even if that communication isn't frequent or intense. It's about maintaining a line of contact, whether through occasional messages, social media interactions, or in frequent meetups. It carries a warmth, a wish for continuity in a world where connections can easily fade. It suggests that the relationship, however nascent or established, is valued and worth preserving. It's a gentle commitment to remember and reach out. Consider these heartfelt exchanges. Friend who's moving. It's been great living in the same city. I'll miss our coffee chats. You, me too. But definitely, let's keep in touch. I'll send you updates from here. Or after a successful networking event. New acquaintance. I really enjoyed our discussion about sustainable energy. You, absolutely. Please, let's keep in touch. I'd love to hear how your project develops. This phrase is a social glue. It helps solidify connections at the point of parting, leaving the door open for future interactions. It prevents the awkwardness of a final goodbye when you genuinely don't want it to be final. By using keep in touch, you demonstrate social grace and an understanding of how relationships are maintained in English-speaking cultures. It's a bridge between the present and the future, built with just 3 simple words. 8. In a hurry. You glance at your watch, and a jolt of urgency shoots through you. You're running late for an appointment, trying to catch a bus, or have a tight deadline looming. Every second counts, and you simply don't have time for leisurely conversations or unexpected delays. How do you politely but firmly communicate this pressing need for speed, this lack of available time? You say, "I'm in a hurry." This phrase is a crucial tool for managing your time and setting boundaries, letting others know that your schedule is tight and you need to move quickly. In a hurry communicates a state of rushing, an urgency that dictates your actions. It implies that you're on a tight schedule, that every moment is accounted for, and that pausing for anything extra would put you behind. It's a legitimate reason to politely decline an impromptu chat, to speed up an interaction, or to excuse yourself from a situation. It's about prioritizing your immediate commitments and ensuring you meet them. Crucially, it's not an excuse, but an explanation of your current state of urgency. Imagine these precise moments. Neighbor, hey, can I just tell you about my new rose bush? It's amazing. You already halfway down the path? Oh, sorry, I'm really in a hurry right now. Maybe later. Or if someone stops you in the office hallway. Colleague, do you have a minute to look at this report? You, I really wish I did, but I'm in a hurry to catch my train. Can we talk after I get back? This phrase is an essential piece of conversational etiquette, allowing you to navigate time-sensitive situations with clarity and respect. It prevents misunderstandings and awkward pauses, ensuring that your need for speed is acknowledged. By using "in a hurry," you show that you understand the ebb and flow of daily demands and can effectively communicate your current priorities. It's a small phrase with a huge impact on your ability to manage your schedule and interactions. 9. Pick up. This deceptively simple phrase is a chameleon of English, adapting its meaning to a variety of contexts, making it a cornerstone of practical communication. But perhaps its most common, everyday usage revolves around the act of retrieval. You need to collect something or someone from a specific location. Your clothes from the dry cleaner, a package from the post office, groceries from the store, or your child from school. How do you articulate this act of gathering or collecting? You pick up. It's a straightforward, unambiguous way to express the task of going to a place to take possession of an item or a person. Pick up fundamentally means to retrieve or collect. When you say you need to pick up groceries, it implies you're going to the store, selecting items, and bringing them home. If you're picking up a friend from the airport, you're going to the airport, meeting them, and then transporting them. The action is usually deliberate and involves movement to a specific point of collection. It's a highly practical phrase, integral to coordinating daily logistics and responsibilities. The context usually makes its specific meaning instantly clear. Consider these highly relevant examples. Spouse, don't forget we're out of milk and bread. You got it. I'll pick some up on my way home from work. Or plan with a friend. Friend, what time should I meet you at the concert? You, actually, I'll pick you up at your place around 7 p.m. Saves us both parking hassle. This phrase also extends to literal physical lifting, as in pick up that dropped pen, but its logistical collect meaning is crucial for fluent daily conversation. Mastering pick up in its various forms is like learning a fundamental utility spell in the English language. It's simple, powerful, and constantly applicable. It allows you to communicate practical arrangements with ease and precision, making your life and your English much smoother. 10. Just in case. Life is unpredictable. The weather can change in an instant, plans can shift, and unexpected needs can arise. While we can't predict everything, we can certainly prepare. When you take a precautionary measure, when you bring something along or do something extra, not because it's certain to be needed, but because there's a possibility it might be, what's the perfect phrase to encapsulate this foresight? You act just in case. This phrase is about contingency planning, about hedging your bets, about being prudent and ready for potential eventualities, however small. Just in case highlights a thoughtful, prepared approach to life. It's about anticipating potential problems or needs and taking steps to mitigate them. It implies a sense of foresight, a practical understanding that while something might not happen, the consequences, if it does happen, are significant enough to warrant preparation. It's the linguistic equivalent of packing an umbrella on a cloudy day, even if rain isn't strictly forecast, or having a spare tire in your car. It's about not being caught off guard. Imagine these cautious, yet smart decisions. Friend, the forecast says clear skies, but it's early spring. You, yeah, I'm still going to bring a light jacket, just in case it gets chilly after sunset. Or preparing for a long journey. Travel partner, do we really need all these snacks for a 3-hour drive? You, better safe than sorry. We'll pack them just in case we get stuck in traffic or need a pick-me-up. This phrase is an expression of practicality and wisdom. It shows that you consider possibilities beyond the immediate and plan accordingly. By incorporating just in case into your vocabulary, you reveal a deeper understanding of practical reasoning in English communication. It's a simple construction that carries the weight of careful planning and a pragmatic outlook, proving that true fluency often lies in the subtle art of preparedness. 11. Get things done. The demands of life can sometimes feel overwhelming. A list of tasks, both big and small, stares back at you, waiting for your attention. You know what needs to be accomplished, and you're ready to dive in with purpose and determination. How do you articulate this focus on productivity, this commitment to action and completion? You declare, I need to get things done. This phrase isn't just about having tasks. It's about the active, intentional process of tackling those tasks and seeing them through to their successful conclusion. Get things done embodies a spirit of efficiency and accomplishment. It suggests a proactive approach, a refusal to procrastinate, and a drive to complete responsibilities. When you use this phrase, you're communicating a commitment to being productive, to moving forward with your duties, whether they are work-related, personal, or household chores. It's about making tangible progress and seeing results, a battle cry for overcoming inertia and achieving objectives. It conveys a no-nonsense attitude toward productivity. Consider these scenarios of purposeful action. Colleague, you look incredibly focused today. What's the plan? You, absolutely. I've got a mountain of reports, so I need to get things done before the deadline. Or on a weekend with a full agenda. Partner, thinking of a relaxing afternoon? You, not yet. I've got gardening, laundry, and some paperwork. I really need to get things done first. This phrase is a powerful statement of intent. It shows that you are organized, motivated, and results-oriented. It's not just about doing something. It's about doing what needs to be done effectively and completely. By incorporating get things done into your English. You project an image of capability and determination, demonstrating an understanding of the drive for achievement that is highly valued in many cultures. It's a clear and concise way to express your commitment to productivity. 12. Catch up. Meaning 1. Reconnecting. Life moves fast, and often, friendships and acquaintances can drift apart amidst busy schedules. Then, an opportunity arises, a moment when you realize you haven't truly connected with someone in a while, and you genuinely want to know what's been happening in their world. You want to hear their stories, share your own, and bridge that informational gap. How do you express this desire for an updated, personal conversation? You suggest, let's catch up. This meaning of catch up is all about reconnecting, about sharing recent life events, and bringing each other up to speed on what's transpired since your last meaningful interaction. This usage of catch up is inherently social and personal. It implies a desire for a conversation that goes beyond superficial greetings, delving into significant life updates, experiences, and feelings. It's often accompanied by a suggestion for a casual meeting, like let's grab coffee and catch up, or we should really catch up soon. It carries a sense of warmth and genuine interest in the other person's life, a proactive step to maintain or rekindle a bond. It's about closing the gap of missed time. Let's look at how this plays out in real-world conversations. Old friend, unexpectedly seen, wow, it's been ages. How have you been? You, so good to see you. We absolutely have to catch up properly soon. So much has happened. Or initiating a meeting. You, to a distant family member, I've been thinking about you. It's been a while. Let's catch up over video call sometime next week. This phrase is vital for maintaining social ties and nurturing relationships. It's a polite and eager way to initiate a more in-depth conversation with someone you haven't spoken to extensively in a while. By using catch up in this context, you demonstrate social awareness and a commitment to personal connection, showing that your English is not just functional, but also capable of expressing nuanced human interaction. It's a simple invitation that carries a profound social weight. 13. Catch up. Meaning 2. Getting back on track. Sometimes, despite our best efforts, we fall behind. Maybe illness kept you from work, a busy week meant you missed a few episodes of your favorite show, or a demanding project caused you to neglect your email inbox. There's a backlog, a gap in what you should have done or seen, and you need to bring yourself up to the current state. How do you express the act of getting back on schedule, of making up for lost time or missed information? You say, I need to catch up. This second meaning of catch up is about closing a deficit, about returning to a state of being current or up to date with tasks or information. This usage is focused on work, studies, or personal obligations. It implies that there's a certain amount of material or work that has accumulated, and you need to process it to be back in line with current demands. It could be catching up on emails, homework, reports, or even current events. The goal is to eliminate the backlog and regain a sense of control and currency. It's about bringing your performance or knowledge level up to par. Consider these determined statements. Colleague, I heard you were out sick for a few days. Hope you're feeling better. You? Much better, thanks. Now I just need to catch up on all the work I missed. Or concerning personal interests. Friend, have you seen the latest season of The Crown? You? Not yet. I've been so busy, I need to catch up on the last 3 episodes first. This phrase is essential for managing responsibilities and communicating your efforts to get back on track. It acknowledges a temporary setback, but expresses a clear intention to overcome it. By using catch up in this context, you demonstrate a practical understanding of workload management and responsibility, showing that you can articulate the process of regaining control. It's a phrase that resonates with anyone who has ever faced a backlog, signifying determination and resilience. 14. Out of order. You walk into a public space, perhaps a restroom, an office kitchen, or a metro station. You try to use a specific piece of equipment, a hand dryer, a coffee machine, an escalator, but it's clearly not functioning. A sign, or the observable reality, tells you it's broken or temporarily unusable. How do you succinctly describe this state of disrepair or unavailability for mechanical or electronic items? You state that it is out of order, This phrase is universally understood to mean that something is not working correctly, is broken, or is otherwise non-operational. Out of order is a direct and unambiguous declaration of malfunction. It's most commonly applied to machines, appliances, or systems that are expected to be functional but currently are not. It implies that the item is either undergoing repair, awaiting repair, or simply has failed. It prevents confusion and manages expectations, letting people know that a certain service or utility is unavailable. It's a neutral, factual statement, devoid of blame but full of practical information. Consider these frustrating, yet common situations. At a public library. "Excuse me, I can't seem to get the printer to work." Librarian, "Oh, I apologize. It's actually been out of order since yesterday. We're waiting for a technician." Or in an apartment building. "Neighbor, are you taking the stairs? What happened to the elevator?" "You, yeah, it's out of order again. Looks like it'll be a few flights for us." This phrase is a fundamental part of navigating public and shared spaces. It's a functional, objective way to communicate a problem with equipment. By using out of order, you demonstrate a practical understanding of how to report or acknowledge a malfunction, showing that you can communicate clearly in everyday scenarios. It's a small phrase that addresses a common inconvenience with directness and clarity. 15. On the go. Modern life often feels like a constant flurry of activity. From early morning commitments to late-night tasks, we often find ourselves moving from one place to another, constantly engaged, never truly still. When you describe a period of intense activity, frequent movement, and a packed schedule, how do you capture that dynamic, energetic pace? You say you are on the go. This phrase perfectly encapsulates a lifestyle or a period characterized by constant motion, busyness, and a lack of downtime. On the go implies a vibrant, active, and often busy schedule. It suggests that you are rarely stationary, constantly involved in various tasks, meetings, travel, or errands. It's a great way to summarize a demanding day or week where you've had little time to sit down and relax. When someone is on the go, they're typically juggling multiple responsibilities and navigating different locations, always moving forward. It's a descriptor of an active and often productive existence, sometimes a little hectic. Imagine these descriptions of a bustling life. Friend, how was your trip? Did you get to relax at all? You, relax? Huh, I was on the go from sunrise to sunset. So many meetings, so much travel. Or explaining a quick meal choice. Colleague, another protein bar for lunch? Don't you ever eat a proper meal? You, when you're on the go as much as I am, quick fuel is essential. No time for lengthy lunches. This phrase is excellent for conveying the intensity and pace of your activities without needing to list every single item on your schedule. It speaks to a common experience in contemporary society, making your description instantly relatable. By using on the go, you demonstrate an intuitive understanding of how to describe a busy, dynamic lifestyle in English, allowing you to succinctly summarize a demanding period. It's a phrase that resonates with the hustle and bustle of modern existence. 16. Make the most of it. Sometimes circumstances aren't ideal. Maybe you have a limited amount of time for an activity, or you're stuck in a less than perfect situation. But instead of complaining or giving up, you decide to adopt a positive, proactive attitude. You resolve to extract every possible benefit, every ounce of enjoyment, or every productive moment from the situation, regardless of its imperfections. How do you articulate this determination to maximize an experience or opportunity? You decide to make the most of it. This phrase is a powerful declaration of resilience, optimism, and a proactive approach to prevailing circumstances. Make the most of it means to utilize an opportunity or a situation to its fullest extent to get the maximum possible benefit or enjoyment from it, especially when the conditions are not entirely favorable. It implies a conscious effort to find the silver lining, to optimize, or to persevere with a positive outlook. It's about leveraging what you have rather than lamenting what you don't. This phrase is about seizing the moment. Even if the moment is imperfect, and ensuring it yields the best possible outcome. Consider these scenarios where optimism triumphs. Friend, it's raining on our beach vacation. Our plans are ruined. You, not necessarily. We can visit the museum or play board games. Let's make the most of it and have a cozy indoor day. Or facing a challenging project. Colleague, this new software is so complicated. It's going to be a steep learning curve. You, true, but it's also a chance to learn new skills. Let's make the most of it and become experts. This phrase is about adopting a growth mindset and finding agency even in challenging situations. It encourages resourcefulness and a positive attitude. By using make the most of it, you communicate a mature and adaptable approach to life's ups and downs, showing that your English vocabulary includes expressions of resilience and optimism. It's a small phrase that empowers you to transform potential setbacks into opportunities. 17. Settle down. Meaning 1. To calm down. In moments of intense emotion, anger, excitement, fear, or even extreme silliness, people can become agitated, restless, or overly energetic. Whether it's a child throwing a tantrum, an adult getting overly heated in an argument, or someone simply being excessively rowdy, there's a need for a return to composure. How do you instruct or advise someone to regain their calm, to reduce their emotional intensity or excessive activity? You tell them to settle down. This meaning of settle down is a direct instruction or plea for someone to become calmer, quieter, or less agitated. This usage is primarily about emotional or behavioral regulation. It's an appeal for composure, often used when someone is being disruptive, overly emotional, or simply too energetic for the situation. It implies that their current state is not appropriate or sustainable, and a return to a more composed demeanor is required. It can be said with gentle persuasion or firm authority, depending on the context and relationship. Imagine these interventions. Parent to an overly excited child. All right, kids, that's enough shouting. Settle down now, it's almost bedtime. Or, between friends after a heated discussion. Friend, I just can't believe what he said. I'm so furious. You take a breath. Settle down. It's not worth getting this upset over. Let's talk it through calmly. This phrase is a valuable tool for de-escalating tension and restoring order. It's a common way to manage interpersonal dynamics and emotional outbursts. By using settle down, in this context, you demonstrate an understanding of social moderation and the power of language to influence behavior, proving that your English can handle delicate social interventions. It's a simple phrase with the power to bring calm to chaos. 18. Settle down. Meaning 2. To establish a stable life. Life's journey often involves periods of exploration, travel, and shifting experiences. But for many, there comes a point where the desire for stability, permanence, and a more rooted existence takes hold. This could involve finding a steady job, buying a home, getting married, or starting a family. Essentially, establishing a fixed and stable lifestyle after a period of transience or uncertainty. How do you describe this transition to a more stable, often domestic, way of life? You say you are ready to settle down. This meaning of settle down signifies a commitment to a more permanent, often family-oriented and geographically stable existence. This usage is about making long-term commitments and establishing roots. It implies moving past a transient phase of life, such as extensive travel or a series of temporary jobs, in favor of something more fixed and enduring. It often involves significant life choices like marriage, starting a family, or purchasing property. When someone talks about settling down, they are generally referring to a desire for stability, security, and building a long-term future in a particular place or with a particular person. Consider these life-defining conversations. Grandparent. So, still backpacking across Europe? When do you think you'll settle down? I'm getting there. This trip is my last adventure before I find a steady job and settle down in a city. Or a couple planning their future. Partner, we've been living in different apartments for a while. Do you think it's time for us to settle down together? Absolutely. I'm ready to find a place and build a life with you. This phrase captures a significant life transition. It's about maturity, responsibility, and the desire for a foundation. By using settle down in this context, you demonstrate an understanding of life stages and major personal decisions in English, showing that your vocabulary extends to profound human experiences. It's a small phrase that speaks volumes about life's evolving priorities. 19. Hang out. Life isn't always about grand plans or formal gatherings. Sometimes, the most cherished moments are those spent simply enjoying the company of others, with no particular agenda beyond shared presence. You want to spend time with friends, perhaps watching a movie, chatting, or just relaxing together, without the pressure of a specific activity. How do you propose or describe this casual, unstructured social time? You suggest to hang out. This phrase is the quintessential expression for informal, relaxed social interaction. Hang out implies a low-key, comfortable social engagement. It's about being together without the need for a formal event, reservations, or elaborate plans. It can be at someone's home, a park, a casual cafe, or simply wandering around. The focus is on the camaraderie and conversation, rather than a specific activity. When you hang out, you're seeking companionship and a relaxed atmosphere, free from the constraints of more structured social events. It's the essence of spontaneous, easygoing friendship. Imagine these relaxed invitations. Friend, what are you doing Saturday evening? You, nothing much. Want to hang out? We could order pizza and watch a movie. Or describing your typical weekend activity. Friend, you always seem so chill on Sundays. What's your secret? You, no secret. I just like to hang out at home, read a book, maybe listen to some music. Pure relaxation. This phrase is a cornerstone of casual social English. It allows for flexibility and ease in making social plans, reflecting a laid-back approach to friendship. By using hang out, you signal that you are approachable, easygoing, and understand the nuances of informal social interaction, making your English sound naturally friendly and inclusive. It's a simple phrase that opens the door to countless relaxed social opportunities. 20. Hit the road. The moment has arrived. You're ready to leave, to embark on a journey, or simply to depart from your current location. Whether it's the start of a long road trip, the conclusion of a social gathering, or just moving on to the next task, there's a need for a clear, concise declaration of departure. How do you express this intention to leave, to get going? You say, let's hit the road. This phrase is a common, informal, and energetic way to announce that it's time to depart. Hit the road conveys a sense of readiness and immediacy for departure. It implies that the preparations are complete, or at least complete enough, and the time for hesitation is over. While literally referring to hitting a road for travel, its usage extends to any situation where people are ready to leave a place. It's a signal to gather your belongings, say your goodbyes, and begin your movement. It's often used with an exclamation point, signifying enthusiasm or determination. Consider these decisive moments of departure. Friend, looking at the clock during a party, it's getting pretty late, and we got an early start tomorrow. You're right. Time to hit the road. Or, at the beginning of an adventure. Travel companions, packed and ready. Everything loaded? Maps ready. Yep. Let's hit the road. This phrase is practical and direct, perfect for signaling a departure in a casual setting. It streamlines the transition from staying to going, making your communication efficient and clear. By using hit the road, you demonstrate a confident command of conversational English, showing that you can lead or participate in the natural ebb and flow of social gatherings and travel plans. It's a small, impactful phrase that sets things in motion. 21. Break the ice. You walk into a room full of strangers. Perhaps it's a networking event, a new class, or a social gathering where you don't know anyone. There's a palpable tension, a sense of awkwardness, and everyone seems hesitant to initiate conversation. This initial silence, this barrier to interaction, needs to be overcome. How do you describe the act of starting a conversation in such a situation, of making people feel more comfortable and ready to talk? You break the ice. This phrase is all about initiating social interaction, and easing initial awkwardness. Break the ice signifies the first step in fostering communication and camaraderie among people who are initially unfamiliar or reserved. It's about making the initial overture, asking the first question, or sharing a lighthearted comment to reduce tension and encourage conversation. It implies a conscious effort to overcome shyness or formality and create a more open, friendly atmosphere. Icebreaker activities are designed specifically to achieve this goal, making people laugh and chat. Imagine these moments of social courage. New colleague. I'm always a bit nervous on my first day. It's hard to talk to people. I know the feeling. Sometimes a simple, "How's your day going?" can break the ice. Or planning a group activity. Team leader. We have a lot of new members in this workshop. We need to do something to make them comfortable. How about we start with a quick game where everyone shares one fun fact? That usually helps break the ice. This phrase is essential for navigating new social environments and fostering connections. It's about building bridges between individuals. By using break the ice, you demonstrate an understanding of social dynamics and the power of initiative in conversation, showing that your English equips you for confident social engagement. It's a vital tool for turning strangers into acquaintances and potentially friends. 22. Get the ball rolling. You have an idea, a project, or a discussion that needs to begin. It's been planned, talked about, perhaps even delayed, but now it's time for action. You need to initiate the process to start the momentum and put things into motion. How do you express this crucial first step, this act of kickstarting an activity or undertaking? You say, "Let's get the ball rolling." This phrase is a dynamic and common way to suggest starting something, to initiate a process or project that will then continue forward. Get the ball rolling implies a proactive approach to starting a task or discussion. It suggests that once the initial effort is made, the rest of the process will follow more smoothly, much like a ball rolling down a hill. It's about overcoming inertia and making that pivotal first move. It's often used when an idea has been discussed enough, and it's time to move from planning to execution. It conveys a sense of purpose and determination to begin. Consider these moments of initiation. Project team. We've had 3 meetings about this proposal. What's our next step? All right, let's stop deliberating and get the ball rolling. I'll draft the initial outline, and you can start researching the data. Or starting a conversation on a sensitive topic. Friend, I really need to talk to my landlord about the noisy neighbors, but I don't know how to start. Just call them and explain the situation. Getting that first conversation started will get the ball rolling. This phrase is powerful for motivating action and driving progress. It's a clear signal to move beyond contemplation and into execution. By using "get the ball rolling," you demonstrate an understanding of project management and the importance of initiation in English communication, showing that your vocabulary includes expressions of leadership and initiative. It's a small phrase that sets bigger things into motion, propelling ideas from thought into reality. And there you have it. We've journeyed through the shadowy corners of conversational English, unveiling 22 phrases that are not merely words, but the very fabric of daily interaction. Each one, a key to unlocking a deeper, more natural fluency. These aren't just expressions. They're insights into the mindset of native speakers, the unspoken grammar of everyday life. The more you immerse yourself in these phrases, the more you practice them, the more they will transform your English from a learned language into a lived experience. Don't let these powerful tools gather dust. Integrate them. Experiment with them. Make them your own. Because true fluency isn't just about avoiding mistakes. It's about embracing the authentic, fluid rhythm of real communication. If you found these linguistic revelations insightful, if you're ready to continue your journey into mastering the hidden codes of English, make sure you've already hit that subscribe button. Join our growing community of learners who are truly becoming fluent, period. We're here to help you peel back the layers, one powerful phrase at a time. Leave a comment below with your favorite phrase from today, or tell us which one you're most excited to try. Your insights fuel our quest to uncover more secrets of the English language. Keep practicing, keep exploring, and remember, the power to speak English like you were born to it is within your grasp. Until next time, stay curious, stay dedicated, and keep unlocking your potential.